Washington and Silicon Valley. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Up and Adam here for a Tuesday morning. It's the 26th day of August for 2025. Welcome to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic with all your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Lots going on for Tuesday here. Nebraska football has awarded 10 Husker defensive players with black shirts ahead of the season opener on Thursday against Cincinnati. Talk about that coming up. The Nebraska baseball program has released its 2025 fall schedule. Hastings College football team is preparing for Saturday's season opener against Doane. Had some high school softball played last night. The White Sox shutting out the Kansas City Royals in Major League Baseball 7-0. A lot of interesting moves around the National Football League yesterday. We'll take a look at that. Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator from Nebraska, is going to have some comments on the show here today. Plus, we're going to meet up with a longtime friend of mine, Bob Jensen, Huskerland Prep Report. He's going to join us here at 7:30, talk about the high school football season. So all that and more is coming up on this Tuesday morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
Longtime friend of yours, longtime friend of mine. I think if you're a member of the Nebraska media and you shake Bob Jensen's hand, he's a friend of yours too. Just one of the absolute faces and nicest guys in the Nebraska prep media world, and we can't be more delighted to have him on now for the third time. We brought him back. He was our very first debut guest on the show, on a show that other than your interview with Bob Jensen couldn't have been a bigger train wreck. And then we decided, hey, let's bring him on 6 months down the road now that we got our ducks in a row here. And now rejoining us as we get set to kick off the high school football season. So a state preview, area preview coming up here on the show.
Yeah, I forgot that Bob was our first guest ever on this show.
Mm-hmm. Remember, because we wanted to lead it off with a bang, and yep.
We did.
It certainly did. It left a mark.
Yeah, we left a mark. Yeah, Bob will probably be looking for his residuals from that first appearance on our show.
I think we deleted that. That never surfaced. That never saw the face.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Bob Jensen coming up on the show here today. So a lot going on. Again, if you'd like to chime in with us, you can. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's our Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, we'll be monitoring those comments as well. A lot of interesting moves in the National Football League yesterday. Mm-hmm. As the Cleveland Browns, they have shipped one of their quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett, to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 2026 fifth-round draft choice. We thought maybe Adrian Martinez could be in line with that. We talked about that on the show yesterday after he was released by the Jets. But the Browns, they have shipped one of their quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett, to the Raiders. Played in 30 career games since he was drafted in the first round by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2022. So Pickett is out at Cleveland. That leaves Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shadir Sanders on their quarterback roster for this year.
And your quick pivot away from Cleveland. Vegas had a busy day yesterday. Yeah. Not only getting Kenny Pickett, moments before that, they signed Amari Cooper off the free agent list, a talented wide receiver that used to play for said Cleveland Browns. And then, moments after they signed Amari Cooper, we hear that Ja'Cory Myers had requested a trade. And he has been one of the top talents in that Vegas wide receiving pool. I mean, he's really emerged as the go-to target. I mean, he was number one towards the top of the Vegas receiver list when you were drafting your fantasy football team. And yeah, Myers straight up requesting a trade. So they got to pay the man. It's one of those pay him situations. TJ McLaurin, he got his bank yesterday for the Washington Commanders, as that saga has now come to an end. In Washington, man, they appear to be loaded. I'm scared about Washington. I mean, I think that they could easily upset the balance of the NFC East. I know Philly's your Super Bowl champion, and they're your champion until you knock them off. But I mean, I think Washington can make a lot of noise. NFC is going to be fun.
All right, I know a handful of Washington Commanders fans that are popping up out of their beds and cheering loudly with that last little statement from you.
All one of them? Colin.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He listens to the show. He's probably screaming in delight with your latest comments. So, yeah, the Raiders picking up a couple of moves. Amari Cooper, you mentioned him, and he's back in with the Raiders. He played for the Bills last season, didn't he? Like 11 games or something.
Sparingly, yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, so that's what's going on with the Raiders. Baseball, Cal Raleigh did it again last night. He did his 50th home run of the season, extending his major league record for home runs by a catcher, and now entering some elite company. Raleigh joined Mickey Mantle as the only switch hitters with 50 home runs in a season, and becomes the 8th player in Major League history to reach the half-century mark in the month of August. He's also the first to smack at least 20 homers from each side of the plate in a single season. So Cal Raleigh continues to light him up in Major League Baseball.
Big Dumper just continues to mash, and big week for the Big Dumper to keep and just stay hot. He's been my catcher since day one on my fantasy baseball team. I have not had to remove him ever from the roster. Even on off days, I'm just like, I don't want to forget that I've got Cal Raleigh on my roster, and then like accidentally roll with the backup catcher for 3 days. So I just keep him firmly planted in the starting slot. We have a fantasy baseball race right now.
I was just going to ask you, how is your fantasy baseball team doing?
So we are into the playoffs. Unlike Major League Baseball, we like to do ours early, and we'll try to wrap up around Labor Day so that we can be fully invested into fantasy football season. But we're in the semifinals this week. On one side of the bracket, you got me going up against Greg Barrett. And then on the other side of the bracket, you know who?
Coach Stroman.
Yep.
He made it to the semifinals.
Coach Stroman, who came out of the gates slower than your 10-horse at Fauner Park that never finished, came out of the gates like 0-4. Just rocky start, and you're like writing him off already. He makes a surging trend about, 5 or 6 weeks ago. He played me, and I was at the top of the standings at the time, had an excellent week, and he's been on fire ever since.
Wow, you ignited your surge.
There is a collision course. If we can get through this week into the semifinals, where Coach Stroman and I are going to be playing for the crown.
God, we better bring him on the show.
We'd have to. In that
bring
scenario.
him on the show for next week to talk about his fantasy baseball team.
If
we both win this weekend.
We both got to win this. We got to take care of business. We take care of business, pick up some dubs, just like we've been doing. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would be. A couple other things. Texans running back Joe Mixon won't be activated from the non-football injury list by today's deadline, making him ineligible to play at least the first 4 games of the season due to an ankle injury. Somebody in our fantasy football league drafted him the other day.
Who was that?
I don't know who that was, but I know he went by the wayside on the draft board.
You also had a guy that's potentially pending to miss half the season get drafted pretty early.
Yeah, I was looking at him too.
There's a There's a hearing coming up on whether or not he'll be able to play, and he was drafted pretty early. Felt like that was kind of a
reach.
Draft pick. A reach.
Anyway, Mixon got an ankle injury. He's going to be moved to the reserve non-football injury list before today's deadline. He was a mainstay rushing-wise for the Texans last year, 1,016 yards, 11 touchdowns, earning him some Pro Bowl honors in his first season with the Texans, but he'll be on the sidelines for at least the first 4 weeks of the season. Then, interesting note here. Sure. I don't know if you saw this guy or not, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are waiving former Florida Gators defensive tackle Desmond Watson in advance of today's roster cut deadline. That's the 450-pound defensive tackle. I don't know if you saw this on social media this morning or not, but he was officially listed at 449 pounds with the Buccaneers. He did not take a practice snap or preseason snap with the team, and instead watched his teammates from the sideline. He originally signed as an undrafted free agent during the season. Watson spent training camp on the active non-football illness list and participated in conditioning exercises in an effort to get his weight down to what the team deemed was an acceptable level. But he tips the scales at 449 pounds. Had Watson suited up for the Bucs in a regular season game, he would have been the heaviest recorded player in NFL history.
Yeah.
But he is obviously not part of the team.
No.
Desmond Watson, 449 pounds. Saw a picture of him walking out of the tunnel at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium out for practice.
No.
There is no way that guy is going to play a single snap in the NFL until he gets his body in condition.
Into shape.
It was terrible looking.
You get knocked backwards on the defensive line and you fall on your ass and you're not going to be able to.
You won't be able to get up.
No one's going to be able to deadlift you.
We're going to have to get a crane out there to pick you up.
Sweet Lord.
So anyway,
459.
I saw that this morning. I thought,
man, there's days where I think I let myself go. I'm just like, I look myself in the mirror. I'm like, man, you gotta get your act together. And then I hear 459 pounds. I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah,
I got plenty of room.
That dude is a big guy, but he's
more pizza.
He's far from taking a snap in the National Football League.
Speaking of the Bucs, I think Bullock has made the 53-man roster. Josh Bullock.
I saw that. Yep. Josh Bullock makes the roster for Tampa Bay. You're going to hear a lot of cuts today as teams get down to the 53 player limit today in the National Football League. So you want to, even after our show today, you want to stay with the guys with the VSiN. That's our national network that we have here 24 hours a day. Stay with those guys, and they'll bring you up to date on everything that's going on football-wise. There's going to be a lot of cuts made and some moves made today, so you want to stay up on that. Hang with us even after our show is done here at 8 o'clock. And for that fact, now that it's officially the football season, those are the experts. If you're going to be doing any kind of sports gambling during the fall, stay with us here on Extreme Sports with the guys from VSiN. They're right there, located in Vegas, Circa, downtown Vegas. They know what's going on with the lines and everything like that. So if you're looking for football stuff throughout the year to help you, maybe with a wager or two, stay with the guys from VSiN, and they'll keep you up to date with the latest news in the sports world.
If you don't trust the VSiN lines, you want to get an extra opinion, catch us on Friday.
Oh, God. I'm not even put us in the same level as those guys. But we did go 3-2 last week.
We're above water. I think if you take their grand records, like if they do all the games. If you took their grand records, they'd probably just be slightly above 500. I don't know. I think anybody can be an expert on gambling. It's gut feeling. It's people go 5-0 all the time because they're hot on a parlay. You know.
We didn't go 5-0 last year.
Hell, we went 4-1 a couple times.
Yes, several times it went 4-1. But I don't think either one of us went 5-0 last year.
5-team parlay's hard. Most experts are hanging around the 3 to 4s, the 3 to 4 legs. Nobody tries the 5 leg. We boldly go where no man has gone before.
IT guy out of the gates 4-1.
Prick.
Yeah, IT guy 4-1 out of the gates. You and I both went to 3-2 on our Blazing 5. We'll have it again on Friday. We'll have a lot more games to choose from this week.
Big slate.
We only had 5 on the schedule last week, so we had to take all 5. And we had to give you a prediction on a couple of teams that we didn't know anything about, like Idaho State. But we'll have a lot more games to choose from this week. So that Blazing 5 coming up on Friday at 7:30. Mm-hmm. Nebraska football awarding their black shirts yesterday.
Woohoo!
Tradition that started in 1964. But the only black shirts signify a starter on defense.
Uh-huh.
Don't we have 11 guys on defense?
Typically.
We awarded 10 black shirts.
That means depth chart position is still up for grabs.
Must be, but somebody's going to have to start the game.
Means defensive position is still up for the grabs. Coach hasn't made up his mind. You got to earn it.
Got to earn these black shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Javen Wright, linebacker. Sierra Wright, a cornerback. Marquez Buford, a safety. Malcolm Hartzog, a safety. Deshaun Singleton, a safety. Andrew Marshall, a cornerback. Cameron Lindhart, a defensive lineman. Deshaun McCullough, a linebacker. Defensive lineman Elijah Judy. And Marquez Watson Trent, a linebacker. Were the players awarded black shirts yesterday by the Husker defensive staff.
Our defensive secondary is so good.
Well, we hope they are.
Oh, my gosh. Singleton, Hartzog, Buford.
They're going to be tested. Going to be tested on Thursday against Cincinnati.
Cannot wait.
We're going to have Dana Holgerson. He's going to have some comments here coming up in a little bit here on Extreme Sports. Huddle up. Again, Bob Jensen expected to give us a buzz at about 7:30 this morning. Going to be talking some high school football. Of course, all 3 Hastings teams will be in action on, actually this week. Thursday, Hastings High is going to be playing at York in their season opener. Then you've got Minden and Adams Central on Friday. And you've got Hastings St. Cecilia playing at Grand Island Central Catholic. The Crusaders and the Blue Hawks will be our featured game here on Extreme Sports Friday night. Kickoff will be at 7. We'll be on the air with the pregame show at 6:45. Made contact with Jimmy yesterday.
Jimmy, ready to roll?
Yeah, my broadcast partner is ready to go. Gino is still missing in action.
He's golfing.
No one has ran into Gino all summer long.
He was at my golf tournament in August.
That's the only sighting of Gino for the entire summer.
The man just retired. He golfs a lot.
So I assume Gino will be joining us for the broadcast on Friday.
Make your way down to Elks, pony up at the club bar,
and that's where you'll find Gino.
And wait 2 hours.
And that's where he'll show up.
Mm-hmm. It's like magic.
Saturday we'll start our Bronco coverage for another season. Hastings College playing at Doane. A couple of big rivals getting together for the first game of the season. Night game in Crete. Nothing better. 5 o'clock pigskin preview here on Extreme Sports. 6 o'clock for the kickoff. Hastings and Doane. Doane's kind of had our number the past few years. They've won like 11 out of the last 13 games with us. Whopped us last year, like 40-3. So Hastings and Doane, couple of teams that are coming up with disappointing seasons from a year ago. They will begin the season on Saturday night over in Crete. We'll have the game for you as well. So we'll have Hastings St. Cecilia at Grand Island Central Catholic Friday. Hastings College in Doane on Saturday. You can catch all the action right here on Extreme Sports.
I have to ask you before we go to our news break. It was a disappointing season last year for the Broncos. Do they flip the script?
I say we'll be mid-pack. You're always going to be chasing the big three.
Yep.
Morningside, Northwestern, Dort. We've got to win the games, the 50-50 games. And we can't. We dropped some games last year that we probably had no business of losing. We can't lose any of those games. Then you got to pull an upset or two along the way. It's like anything.
It's doing a 50-50 game?
No, I think we can win this game.
Nice.
I'm talking like Hastings Midland, which is next week.
Okay.
Those are the type of games we need to win. Midland, Mount Marty, Concordia.
Beat our Nebraska GPAC foes.
Yeah, we've got to win those 50-50 games. We got a new quarterback.
Yep.
Jarrett Sinek is going to take over at quarterback. The depth chart was released on Monday.
New quarterback and a very capable backup, if needed.
Carson Kalachuk, who has been our starter for the last year and a half, has been beaten out by Jarrett Sinek, who spent time at Nebraska. He's a Hastings High kid. Went to Nebraska, went to South Dakota.
Yep.
Now he is back, redshirt junior officially. So he comes in and takes over the offense for the Broncos. So he'll be at the quarterback, starting quarterback for the Broncos on Saturday against the Doane, Jarrett Sinek. So kind of a new-look Bronco offense with the new offensive coordinator, Jeff Bauer, also in there for Hastings. So kind of a new-look Bronco offense getting ready to debut on this Saturday.
And lucky you, you're not done calling Sinek at quarterback yet.
No. We called him for how many years at Hastings High? Boy, it's been a brother after brother after brother for Hastings High. And now what happens? As soon as we got rid of a quarterback named Sinek at Hastings High, we go to Hastings College, and guess what? There's a Sinek there, too. So now all the Sineks are together at Hastings College.
Together again.
Yeah, back together again. All right, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. Again, Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep expected to join us at 7:30 this morning to talk about high school football this year. It's now 7:22 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
The Nebraska State Fair kicked off its 2025 run with strong attendance and enthusiastic crowds welcoming families from across Nebraska and beyond during opening weekend. Cool temperatures, mostly clear skies created the perfect backdrop for fairgoers who streamed through the gates steadily from early morning until late evening. Fair staff reports that both Friday's opening day and Saturday attendance surpassed last year's respective numbers, with Sunday's final totals expected to remain strong. First half of the fair's highly anticipated drone and fireworks show lit up the skies over GI, with one show performed and another set for next weekend, Friday through Sunday. Most City of Hastings offices will be closed on Monday in observance of Labor Day. And while most city offices will close for the holiday, the Hastings Museum will be open from 9 until 4, as it's the final Monday. The Hastings Museum will be open to the public for the summer season. Labor Day also marks the last day of operation for Fisher Fountain for the summer season. Hastings Public Library is joining libraries nationwide in celebrating National Library Card Sign-Up Month this September. Since 1987, the American Library Association has designated September as a time to remind everyone of the power of a library card, the most valuable card in your wallet. To mark the occasion, the Hastings Public Library is hosting a grand prize drawing throughout September. New sign-ups for anyone who signs up for a library card will be entered. Current card holders who update their account information will also be eligible, and community members who refer a friend or family member with a referral card will receive an entry as well. Referral cards are available at the library. The grand prize, $30. in Chamberbucks. 724, Mike Will with sports.
Nebraska football has awarded 10 Husker defensive players with black shirts ahead of the season opener on Thursday against Cincinnati. The black shirts signify a starter on defense, a tradition that started back in 1964. Players receiving the coveted practice jerseys are Devin Wright, Sierra Wright, Marquez Buford, Malcolm Hartzog, Deshaun Singleton, Andrew Marshall, Cameron Lindhart, Deshaun McCullough, Elijah Judy, and Marquise Watson Trent. Thursday's game will mark just the 11th time that Nebraska has played in Kansas City, but only the third time in the last 120 years. Nebraska beat Oklahoma State 24-17 in 1998 and lost to Oklahoma 21-7 in the Big 12 championship game in 2006. The Huskers played in Kansas City 8 times from 1893 to 1904. Thursday's game gets underway at 8 o'clock. You'll be able to see it on ESPN. The Nebraska baseball program released its 2025 fall schedule yesterday, which features 2 exhibitions and the annual Red-White Series. The Huskers travel to Wichita State on Saturday, September 27th, and will host Nebraska-Omaha on Saturday, October 11th. The annual Red-White Series is set for October 13th through the 15th. Hastings College football team is preparing for Saturday's season opener against Doane. Both teams are coming off of disappointing seasons in 2024. The Broncos finished 2-9. The Tigers were 3-8. Doane has won 11 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams, including last year's 40-3 win. Kickoff will be at 6. Pigskin Preview begins at 5 o'clock here on Extreme Sports. High school softball from yesterday. Grand Island Central Catholic beat St. Paul 15-5. Kearney took 2 from North Platte, 12-9 and 12-0. And Kearney Catholic beat Highway 6 15-1. Today, Lexington is at Adams Central. McCook is at Hastings High, and Northwest is at St. Cecilia. The Chicago White Sox beat Kansas City 7-0 last night. Same two teams will play at 6:40 tonight in Chicago. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:27.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Our stretch of beautiful weather continues today on Tuesday. Mostly sunny skies, a high in the mid to upper 70s and a light southwest wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, a few clouds, 57 will be the low. 71 on Wednesday with a chance of daytime showers. That continues into Wednesday night. 59 is the overnight low. Thursday, more clouds, a high of 77. And upper 70s Friday and Saturday with chances for periodic showers and thunderstorms.
As you wake up, get going this morning, southwest winds at 4. We've got clear skies. It is 55 in Hastings.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Miletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Miletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beers, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MilettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Maleta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, good morning. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday, the 26th of August for 2025. Thanks for listening to us, whether you're online at our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, we're everywhere that you are. Again, thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. Let's talk some high school football. And on the phone with us is going to be Bob Jensen from the Huskerland Prep Report, Mr. High School Football. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, boys. It's great to be on with the two of you, bright and early.
Yeah, we didn't interrupt your sleep, did we, Bobby?
No, those are the days back when I could sleep, but that's a personal problem. So we'll just we'll go from there. But yeah, no, it's great to be on. I'm happy for you guys' success with this deal. So I'm ready to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Me and Tyson, we were talking earlier today, Bob, that you were our first official guest of the show way back when. You were our first official guest. I think we had you on later on in the year, and now a return performance for you.
Well, yeah, I do remember the high honor of batting leadoff, hoping there would be a day two after my performance. So we survived that. Now we're ready for what will no doubt be a football season filled with thrills and chills.
All right, again to Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep. Going to talk some high school football here this morning. Bob, as far as the upcoming season is concerned, anything out there that you're really looking forward to seeing, maybe some of the storylines that people need to maybe watch as this season gets underway?
Well, yeah, I tell you what, I never thought about this, Will, until after all the shooting was done, for what it's worth. And if you read our magazine, it may not be worth all that much. I go back and look. I picked 6 of the 7 state champions to repeat. I don't think that's ever happened before. And it's it could happen. It could happen because we've got some teams that are a cut above in a few of these classes, but you know how that goes. Everybody listening knows how that goes. There's bound to be some surprises and upsets. although true upsets, seldom happen in high school. So I don't know. I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's looking forward to, but to me, and I think to many, the story of the season is, we're right back to participation and competition. And, what happened last year in Class A with the lopsidedness and everything, that's kind of been beaten to death. I'll tell you, the shot across the bow is when you've got a state championship program, a C2 state championship program like Oak and Craig, suspend their season for lack of players. And they weren't in great shape when the season started, because I know firsthand that they recruited 4 boys out of the hallway to get to 19 to play in the toughest C2 class or C2 district in the state, with the defending champion Norfolk Catholic and Cedar and teams like that. So I don't know, but beyond all that, the beauty of today is the beauty of today, and it's something that really is, it really is special, especially on a cool, crisp morning. Everybody's undefeated. Everybody's got a shot. Well, let's get it going and see who really has a shot.
The anticipation, the Friday night lights, and nearly every community that turns into a football community here in the state of Nebraska. Always fun to go on road trips and go to certain venues for certain big games. I know that you've got several circled as far as some games that you're certainly going to hit on the season, games to watch, atmospheres that should be electric. Highlight a few of the big marquee games this season, Bob.
Hey there, Tyson. Yeah, there is. It's not going to take very long, actually, because right out of the gate in Class A, Omaha North will host Omaha West Side actually on Thursday night. That's one of those games I desperately wish that we had managed. That's a week 9 game. We should have been able to wait for that all along, but. We didn't, and again, Millard South. If Millard South loses, it will be an upset of the first degree. But those two teams they're loaded, and not only are they loaded, they're loaded with Division I, Power 4 players. And so you start the season like that, and then we've got. We picked the game of the year, and again, there's all sorts of reasons to pick a game of the year, right? I mean, to me, I'm a little less concerned about, the number 1 against number 2 as I am, games that appeal to me for, different types of reasons. But when you throw all the trophies into the mix, it still made sense. Our game of the year actually is in week 1, and that's Howells Dodge at Lawrence Nelson. I know you've got some listeners down in the Lawrence Nelson area, maybe the Howells Dodge area. That's one of those games, boys, where I wish you could just, they should be able to bring all the trophies, bring all the trophies and put them out for everybody to see, because there's a lot of them. I think if you added them up, there'd be 21 state championship trophies between those two. So anyway, there's you talk about venues. Anybody that's ever been to McCook, really that is a magical place. There are others. I'm going to be in Ashland in week 2, and that's another place that's very nice. And there's lots of those. But I don't know. There's a lot of great games coming up. I tell you what, I talked about Class A. Millard South, like I said, Millard South's the defending champion, going to be really tough to beat. But there's, that class is really appealing to me this year. There's just a lot of, as usual, there's a lot of good teams. We'll see if somebody can clip Millard South. I don't know, but anyway, I know we'll talk about the other classes, but there's a ton of these places, and really, every stadium is special in its own way, especially when it's got people that are there cheering their kids on.
All right, again, talking with Bob Jensen from Husker Lamb Prep. He's been doing this high school routine for a long, long time. He kind of knows what's happening. So, Bob, give us your projected state champions for this year. You said maybe 6 out of the 7 could be a repeat?
Well, I mean, when you say that, well, or at least I do. When I thought about it, I thought, well, that's a little stunning. That doesn't happen very often. But then when you look, it's not complete crazy talk, because again, you talk about Class A. Millard South is undeniably it's the best team. It's the best team in the state. I'm going to be close on this. They've got something like 10 Power 4 players on their team. Scholarship players, and it may be more. I can't say I've counted here lately, but we've got Millard South first and West Side North after that. Scott, by all accounts, Scott is going to be better than they were last year, which is really bad news for Class B, although, that they are in a district with Elkhorn North, who we have second, and Bennington, the three-time champ who finally got beat last year in the state final. They're all in that same district. I guess maybe the biggest news to me in B, and it was big, this was going to be the year, and it still may be the year for Seward. Seward's got a lot of talented kids, both sides of the ball. They won 11 straight to start the season last year, lost their quarterback. Treston Haas, he's, in terms of high school, he's no doubt the most valuable player in Class B, and he's done for the season due to a summertime knee injury. So that kind of tilts the scales a little bit. Elkhorn North's been to the semifinals now the last couple of years. They're looking to get to their first final, which is coming, and it may very well be this year. We went with another repeat in C1 with Wahoo, knowing that Wahoo lost some really good players last year, but their core group is the best in the class. Their tradition has, hit an all-time high. And we've got Central City, last year's finalist, back in again. And right behind them, it's Ashland and Sydney, Columbus Lakeview, which looks awfully familiar. Norfolk Catholic is the favorite in C2 forever. I don't know how they're going to lose. They're just a cut above. Their depth, their coaching, obviously everybody's got good coaching, but talk about the all-time winner, 400-game winner, Jeff Beller. It's a magical program. I tell you what, though, there is a team that could beat them, and that's Cedar Catholic. Cedar Catholic's always good. They're really good this year, and they're deep, and they've got all the key pieces. Those two teams play in the last week of the regular season. That'll give us a real tell entering the playoffs. We got Sandy Creek repeating in D1. To me, they may wind up being, as I say, a cut above. We had Dundee County Stratton second, and then another. It was a big deal over the winter. A kid named Lane Bidey. Yeah, people who follow the sports know about Lane. He's an all-stater in football and basketball. Last-minute transfer to St. Mary's in O'Neill. We left Dundee at 2, mainly so I wouldn't have to do any work, but partly because they've still got plenty of good athletes out there. Shelby Rising City is another team that's really risen to the top here. I feel like they're ready for a semifinal this year, and then, Stanton will be back and so on and so forth. If I could go back, the one that I struggle with, boys, the most, and you'll know what I'm talking about, it was D2, because Central Valley was just so dominant against D2 competition last year. They only lost to Stanton. And they've got a lot. Their defensive line is back. You guys were down there. We saw it. Just the unbelievable speed in that defensive line. And those are all juniors. In fact, all of their best players are juniors. But we have them at second, and we went with Archangels Catholic, the former Humphrey St. Francis, as our number one team, and Howells is in their third. Archangels got again. They also have a really good junior class with a real with a real nice mix of seniors. A couple of kids that could wind up playing it at all-state level. I would expect them to. And then St. Mary's is fourth. But, with Layton Bybee there, they've already got Gage Hedstrom. The kid's the quarterback, linebacker, punter. He's all-state level at all three, two-sport all-stater. They've got a lot. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And they play Twin Loop, I think it is, first week, which is a nice surprise team in D2. And then we took defending champion Stewart. in C1. They've got the quarterback back. He might very well be the best player in the class, or that's what I think. And then Garden County, which has never been to a state final, has got basically its entire team back after winning 10 in a row to get to the semifinals last year. And then we've got Sumner right behind them. And then down the road from Hastings, Red Cloud's going to be a real nice dark horse in that class. Gage Ely, an elite player, 6-man level. Make for a fun season.
Bob Jensen from Huskerland joining us here on the show today, here on Huddle Up, as we continue to get ready for the 2025 high school season. We talked about some of the teams in our area. Lawrence Nelson obviously expected to flex this year in 8-man. I think Sandy Creek, as much as they lost Bob, they have ready to reload and make another run at this thing. More locally here, as far as the Hastings teams are concerned, you had an opportunity to come down this way. Is there a Hastings school between the Patriots, my Blue Hawks, and Tigers that you see making a little bit of a jump this year, making another stride towards building that program?
Well, speaking of the Blue Hawks, that was just weird. Scott Coles, I know you're listening. That was just weird. But, again, a real young team, really, really struggled at times last year. Played, everybody plays a good schedule, right? I mean, everybody plays a good schedule. And there wasn't any breathing room for that kind of, any sort of, the numbers didn't show the development. That's what I'm saying. When you play like that every week, it's going to come. It just didn't happen last year. They're going to be better. I don't look for them to be a playoff team or anything, but I do think they're going to be better. I also think Adams Central's got a chance to be better. They had their moments last year. I mean, they were a tough out. They gave Central City a real good tussle. So they'll be better. Hastings has got some work to do. Charlie's got a lot of young kids that are going to play. I think he's only got a couple, maybe, returning starters. But, again, one of my favorite speeches is programs trump teams. And by that I mean, everybody's going to have a team sometime. It's simple math. The nexus comes together and you have a good team. But they're winners at Hastings. Charlie's a winner. And the kids, they're used to winning. And, kids are beautiful, man, because they don't know any better. They don't know how many starters. They don't care how many starters are coming back. They just know they're the Hastings Tigers, and that will get them to 500. That would be my guess. And then after that, it's anybody's bet.
All right, so that kind of sets the stage for another exciting season of high school football. Again, it gets started for us Friday night. We'll have the St. Cecilia Grand Island Central Catholic game for you on Friday. But each and every week we'll have the very best in high school football right here on Extreme Sports. And I know, Bob, you've been doing this for a long time. How many years is it now?
Right at 1,000, Will. right at 1,000. It feels like, but no, this will be 37. This will be 37, and so yeah, it's a fun gig. It's been something I've enjoyed for a long time. And anybody who's listening, you guys are fabulous on the stream and whatnot. Yeah, I had a little shakeup in my own professional life over the summer because I've been the Nebraska High School Publishers for Rivals for a long time, and they merged with the other recruiting giant On3. And so when people go to look for my website, our website, it winds up being on the On3 network, Rivals On3 network, and that was a little bit different, having to learn a new admin and all that sort of stuff. And there's some bumps in the road, but we're pretty much ready for the start of the season, like everybody else.
All right, how do they follow you, Bob, throughout the season? And certainly give a plug for your magazine, which you've got out and about again. We'll give you a freebie here. Give you a plug on how they can keep track of you.
Well, you've always been able to read what I write, and you read that perfectly, Will. So, so if people want a magazine, it's a nice deal. It's a 180-page preview of the season, statewide deal, all the teams, all the players, all that jazz. Probably the best way is I'm on Twitter. I am at Huskerland Bob, 67 years old, boys, and this is what it's come to. But I'm at Huskerland Bob, or Or I've got a Facebook page that I only pay attention to 1 month out of the year, and this is it. If you want to find either Bob Jensen or Husker Land Prep Report on there, drop me a note. We'll get you hooked up. And then as far as the website goes, again, it's Husker Land Preps on the On3 network. And we always appreciate the support and involvement of the people that follow along what we do.
All right, Bob Jensen again from Husker Land Prep. I'm sure we'll see you somewhere along the lines that we always run into you a few times throughout the season. Look forward to seeing you in person.
Yeah, same here, boys. Continued good luck, and good luck to all the kids that are going to be playing their football this fall.
All right. All right. Bob Jensen, Husker Land Prep. Always good joining him. Kick off the high school football season the right way. Boy, that guy's got a ton of knowledge.
1,000.
Yeah, and he does it without notes.
Oh, yeah. That's impressive.
We could sit down. We just went 20 minutes with him right there.
Oh, yeah.
We could have gone
Easy.
We could have gone an hour without taking a breath.
And he had talked about each individual school. Again, no notes, just conversations with. I mean, to be able to pull Scott Cole's name out of a hat, you know, and the relationships that he forms along the way and along his travels, he's one of the best to do it. I mean, he literally sets the example for Nebraska high school reporters out there. Nobody better in the biz than Bob Jensen.
All right, we'll try to get him on a couple of times throughout the year. He's busy, but I think we can pry him away. This early morning time slot, sometimes he works late into the night. Right. But to this early morning time slot, we'll get him on a couple of times throughout the year. Bob Jensen from Husker Land Prep. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. I want to get to a couple of cuts with Dana Holgerson. Mm-hmm. He's the offensive coordinator for the Nebraska football team. Of course, the Huskers getting ready for their season opener like a lot of people are, Thursday against Cincinnati. And Dana says he's looking forward to the ball game.
There's jitters for every game, I guess, but been there, done that, I guess. You know, I mean, this I really love these, you know, the early kind of neutral site games. I've always been a big fan of those. You know, I think the players are excited about it. Fan base should be excited about it. You know, we're at a point in camp where we can keep practicing if we want to, but we're not going to figure things out until we have a real game. You know, and so we're ready for that. We've had a great camp. I had 21 really good days at camp. Played a lot of football. Covered every situation known to man, so to speak, and our guys are ready for a game. You know, and so this week's all about just getting really comfortable with the game plan. I think Coach Rule did an exceptional job of not making game week too long, because I think you can make game week too long. And so this week we've just kind of focused in on Cincinnati and excited to get to Kansas City on Thursday.
And the coach says they had a good preseason camp.
I think our players did an exceptional job of you know, every day being important, you know, and so, you know, just 21 days of just a lot of football. It was just a lot of football. You know, we were a healthy team pretty much the entire camp. We, you know, just logged a whole lot of reps and was able to get into just a whole bunch of situations that, you know, quite frankly, sometimes don't get covered until they happen, you know. And so I just think we're really prepared to be able to go out there and see what happens on Thursday. I mean, it just, you get to a point where you think you know what you got, but until you get in that live situation, so you don't really know. So, you know, I'm excited about Thursday. I'm ready to go out there and ready to coach and ready to watch these guys play.
And Dana has had some experience in playing Cincinnati.
Yeah, we've had some battles. I had some battles with them, man. I mean, this goes back to West Virginia. I had a couple of battles with them, you know, and so Ben, you know, have been there and competed against this team a lot. You know, back 2-3 years ago when they made the CFP 2 years in a row, that was a unbelievable football team. You know, we lost to them in the conference championship, I believe, in 21 or 22, one of those two. But they've always had good players, man. You know, they've got great tradition. They're well coached. I think Coach Satterfield's going into his fourth year now, so they're going to be a quality team. They're going to be a hard, tough working athletic football team, and we're going to have to show up and play well.
Again, that's Dana Hogerson, the offensive coordinator for Nebraska, as the Huskers get ready for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Thursday, 8 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. Drinking your Roulade this week like you're supposed to?
I mean, a little bit. I'm not chugging it. I don't want to drown in it before the season starts, go down the wrong pipe or something. Cincinnati's going to be a test. And I don't say that with like the doom and gloom mentality, but I don't see like the blowout that some people are starting to get behind on the bandwagon. It's neutral site game. We're going to have first game jitters. We're going to have execution issues. I ultimately, obviously, we'll talk score predictions on Thursday, but we got to be able to finish drives. And I'm not talking finish drives off with 3 points. When we get down in the red zone, we have to be able to find the end zone. And I don't know if this offense is mature enough at this point in the season to be able to turn threes into sixes. And so I think we're going to take a couple of threes on a few drives that'll kind of cap the scoring down a little bit. I'm really impressed with our secondary. They're going to be tested. But at the same time, like, our linebackers need to grow up and are going to have to grow up quickly and fill in some of those roles. Those black shirts that got earned, we're going to have to see it. And Cincinnati's they're not going to be held to a goose egg. They're going to find ways to get into the end zone. This is a good football program that's coming in and listening to all these Nebraska expectations and hearing about all this Husker hype. And if that doesn't put a target on your back, I don't know what does. Cincinnati's going to be hungry. They're going to want to prove something. It's primetime football for them too. They're going to strap up, and I expect a very competitive football game coming up on Thursday. I mean, and like Dana said, at this point, coach speak and listening to these coach sound bites, it all gets muddled. It gets muddied and it gets muddled because at this point, I'm done listening. I want to watch it, and I want to see it. I've heard you talk all off season long. Time to prove it. Time to play.
All right, 8 o'clock again, starting time on ESPN on Thursday, Nebraska and the Cincinnati Bearcats. You're waking up to Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
Every football season, there's that one fan. The one who sees the upsets coming. The one who doesn't just cheer, they calculate. They survive. This year, that fan could be you. Introducing Extreme Sports Survivor, the ultimate test of football instinct. Pick one NFL team to win each week. No spreads. No gimmicks. Just survive. But there's a twist. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. One wrong call, and it's over. Your name fades. Your shot gone. But survive long enough, be the last one standing, and you'll win our grand prize. Not just the glory, not just the bragging rights, something more. Sign up by Wednesday, September 3rd at x-streamsports.com/survivor. Do you trust your gut? Can you outlast them all? This is more than a game. This is Extreme Sports Survivor.
All right, don't forget to get signed up for a Survivor by Wednesday, September the 3rd. We'll announce the prize package for you on Monday. Yeah, I know it's Labor Day, but we'll get it out on all of our social media sites while you're enjoying your last bit of the summer vacation. Go to our social media sites on Monday. We'll list a prize package for you, but definitely get signed up. And a lot of people get signed up yesterday. So remember, September 3rd is the deadline. It's Survivor on Extreme Sports. I actually went to the NFL schedule last night to try to find me a Survivor for the first week, and nothing really pops out saying, there's my game. Mm-hmm. There are some great games for the NFL season opening weekend. Nothing really pops out that says, oh, that's a sure one.
Right.
That's a sure one right there that I could use for Survivor.
No, I'm with you. That's by design. The NFL is not going to come out of the gates with a weak schedule. You know, they're not going to come out with blowouts. They're going to try to pair some palatable matchups. And, yeah, that's by design. It's not this isn't going to be easy, folks.
They don't care about our Survivor game, do they? They don't give a damn about our Survivor game.
No.
They're not going to put a blowout out there so everybody can move into the second week.
They don't care if you're on page 3.
Like we usually are. God. All right, great show here today. Bob Jensen was our guest. Had some comments from Dana Holgerson as we get ready for Husker football. We're just 2 days away.
2 more sleeps.
2 more sleeps? Then no sleep on Thursday.
I don't know. I'm fully convinced you'll have to drag my ass out of bed Friday morning.
How many wake-up calls do you need?
4.
When should I start calling?
6:35.
No.
And then 5-minute increments.
I'll start calling you. Make sure you sleep with your phone Friday morning. Sleep with it right beside your little ear. I'll call you starting at 6:30.
I was going to say, if you call before 6:30, we won't have words. The first word out of my mouth will not be hello.
Oh, you don't usually answer anyway.
Not before 6:30.
Yeah, so I'll start calling you Friday morning at 6:30. Because we think the game is going to run long.
I'm thinking midnight. That's my over-unders.
Midnight?
That's my over-unders.
I expect there to be a lot of scoring, so after scoring, what happens? They take commercial breaks. I don't know what's planned for halftime. We're not going to have hopefully a big halftime show.
Oh, please, no.
Of course, it could extend into 1 o'clock, and that would not be good for you and I.
I expect it to be close late, which means everybody uses all their timeouts and try to manage the clock. And there'll be at least 15 commercial breaks in the fourth quarter.
You know how the game could be sped up just a little bit?
Run the damn ball. Let's go. Let's go.
Just run the damn ball and keep the clock moving.
Did you wear your shirt again today?
I did not.
Oh, missed out.
I'm going to wear it. I'll wear it tomorrow and Thursday.
Yep.
I thought that was enough for 1 week.
It's not.
I should have worn it. I should have worn it today. I thought about it. It was sitting there. Because I did take it off yesterday after the show like you told me to.
Yeah. Just keep it on the back of your chair.
Yeah, I had it on the back of the chair. I thought, should I wear that again today?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd give it a little break. I'll wear it again.
I guess the audience doesn't realize that you take it off after every show. So, like, if they're watching at Bullseye, they're like, dude, is he okay?
He's wearing that same shirt again.
Is he okay? Is things going well? Does he have one shirt?
That's the only shirt that he has in his damn wardrobe. Somebody gave him the shirt. Jim and Tammy gave him a shirt.
Yeah,
now he's going to wear it.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
GoFundMe set up for your shirts.
He's wearing the damn thing every day. So I gave it a little break today.
There you go.
I'll pull it out tomorrow. So anyway, we'll move into tomorrow. Football game eve. Football game eve tomorrow as we continue to get ready for the Huskers in Cincinnati on the Thursday. So, if you'd like to listen to the show and certainly the interview we had with Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep, you can do that. Go to our social media sites, download the podcast portion, and listen to the show when you have a chance today. Remember, get signed up for Survivor, and we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 7 here on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on